What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tie an FS minnow. Something simple, 3 materials. Looks something like this. Something quick, easy. I'm tying these for saltwater, but you could tie these for anything. The nice thing about the FS fiber is it comes in so many different colors that you can tie any combination that you can think of. The colors I'm using today are natural and silver scale gray. I'm using 2 different threads. I'm going to do pink for the underbody, and then I'm going to do black for the head. I believe I have 10 wraps of 20 thousandths lead wire. I'm going to put just a drop of Sally Hansen on it to let it soak in and give the thread something more to grab to, make it a little more durable. I know my videos are on the longer side, and I know it's hard to watch tie-in videos. They're not the most exciting thing, but if you could sit through till the end, I'm doing what I can in editing to try to make it a better experience. And we're really close to getting 500 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. Share the videos to your friends. Let people know about it. Anything to help grow the channel. So I left my tag in really long on that. If you take your tag in when you tie it in and you pull it over the lead wraps and then tie over it, it helps keep your thread from going in between the wraps. So that's why I left my tag in on the long side. Try to get this out of there. And hopefully with the channel, I'm going fishing soon, so I can start doing that. I know I've been doing a lot of tying videos. Most of it is because I have nowhere to fish. My state is not very good about accessibility for places to fish, and without a boat or a track chair or a beach chair, I don't get to fish very often. Since I got hurt, I get to fish maybe a couple times a year now. So I do a lot more tying than I do fishing. But hunting season is around the corner, so I'm going to be doing that as well. So we'll have hunting videos, fishing videos, tying videos. And hopefully that'll give y'all more to watch, because I know it gets boring watching tying videos. So I'm just using the pink thread. I don't know how well that's coming through. Just using the pink thread to build up an underbody. So I'm going to tie in a piece of Flashabou lateral scale to wrap the body with, and I added pink just to give it something just for the color to come through the Flashabou. So you could do orange or pink, whatever color you really want to match the fly that you're doing. Or you don't have to do it at all, you could just do the Flashabou. I just thought it'd be a neat effect to it. but I want to build up a nice pink underbody, just so if it bleeds through the Flashabou, then you got that nice pinkish minnowy look to it. So that pink is done. We'll go ahead and whip finish that. I was gonna show putting eyes on it, but my UV light is dead and I have to charge it. So I'm gonna have to skip eyes on this. The picture will have eyes, but I'm not gonna be able to show you putting eyes on. Alright, with that, go ahead and attach our black. Now this is the only second one that I've tied. I figured I'd make a video on it. It's a neat little pattern. A transparent little bait fish. Using the FS fibers, they're incredibly messy. They go everywhere. So trying to figure out the right amount to use and where to tie them in at. It's just a learning curve. So I'm going to do a half hitch there. Grab my hackle pliers. And I'm going to start wrapping this Flashabou forward. I'm doing overlapping wraps. I want it nice and flashy. It keeps slipping there. I got a bit of a bump there and it's not wanting to wrap on there right. We'll just have to call that good. I'm going to wrap on this a little bit to make it more durable. Take it and fold it back onto itself and wrap back over that. Now we can take our hackle pliers off. Trim out the extra. And being that my UV light is dead, I would usually do this step with Solarez bone dry, but my light is dead, so I'm going to use Sally Hansen just to coat back over the Flashabou where I had it slip a few times, and just to help make the fly more durable. Just like that. Give that just a second to dry while I fix the head on this. That's not good. Hook slipped. I'll try to not put as much pressure on it. Okay, so the FS fiber, like I said, very messy stuff. It gets literally everywhere while you're handling it. Especially when you can't really pinch it. But take the strand, try to find the midpoint of it. I'm going to spin my thread. It's jumping back further than I want it to go. I'm going to do about right there. So you want this right on top. I'm going to take it and try to pull it just like that. And then I'm going to wrap down on this to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Now with that, you just take this piece, fold it back over, I'm actually going to redo this. The thread slipped at the end. As you can see, it's pretty messy stuff. So keep that in mind. Especially if you can't stand up and brush it off of you. So once again, get it right on top. I'm going to wrap forward a little more. And this is the problem I had with the first one I tied. Just trying to figure out where I need to tie it in at. But I think that'll be good. And don't worry about the ends. I know you can't see it, but don't worry about them being uneven. Just gonna go through and trim it down to size. Make it look like a bait fish. Alright, now turn the fly over. For our belly material, like I said, I'm using natural. But use whatever color that you can think of. There's so much that you can do with this. Once again, try to find the midpoint. Just eyeball it. And get that tied in. Try to make sure it's right on the bottom of the fly. I'm going to wrap up onto the head some. About right there. And then fold it back. And wrap back over it once again. Just like that. Head on this one turned out bigger than I wanted. but once you get eyes on it, then you're not gonna really notice anyway. Just gives you more room to put eyes. You can put bigger eyes, you can do small eyes. The eyes I did on my first one before my light died are 1/4 of an inch. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and whip finish. Try to get this material acting right. Get your thread out of there. What I do is I take it out of the vise, try to get that all around the hook point, get it coming straight out the back. Get it back in. What I like to do is take my comb and just run it through. Try to get a knot or something in there. It's doing something. I just brush it out. Gives you an idea of where to trim, how much to trim. I'm gonna move some stuff out of my way here. For me, for trimming, it's easiest if I lay it on my bench flat and try to trim it that way, instead of trying to keep it in the vise. But trim it to whatever profile and length that you want. I don't want a super big bait fish because I didn't use a very big hook. So something on the smaller side is what I'm aiming for. And this is another material that you can trim on for a while and not be happy with it. You just have to accept it and say it's as good as it's gonna get, because you can trim on it until you don't have a fly left. Same with EP fiber, and you can trim on it for hours until you're down to bare hook. You just have to say enough is enough and call it good. Just trying to fool fish. It doesn't have to be perfect. This one I can see some mistakes, just where the fiber, especially the belly, had twisted, so it's not directly on the bottom, it's more to the side. But give it brush it out several times, trim it. But that's what you're kind of going for, something like this that looks like a bait fish, Has that baitfish profile. I am gonna have to trim more on this until I'm happy with it, but you get the idea. But I'm not gonna make you sit through me sitting there trimming, because that's basically the fly there. It's basically done. All you'd have to do is add eyes if you want eyes. Trim it, keep trimming it down until you get it to what you want, or do a rough trim and call it good. But like I said, with this fiber, you can do so many different colors. There's so many possibilities, and you can tie them for probably just about every fish that you can think of. So give them a try. Try it out in your waters. Let me know if you catch anything. And like I said, I know the videos are a bit on the longer side, but I would appreciate it if you would sit at least mostly through them. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We're almost to 500, which is pretty incredible. But give it a thumbs up, comment. I'm happy to answer any questions. And until next time, I will see y'all later.